Hello and welcome to another eBuddy tutorial. We are going over the rewards tab specifically, but with that we have a couple of other areas that we need to look at first, specifically the transactions tab and the girl orders, because in order to fill out your rewards you need to make sure you've taken in all the cookies that you're going to take in and you've distributed them to the girls. So we're going to make a final transaction. So within our little mock troop we need to put in a few cases here, so we're going to do 8, 4. So these would look like whatever numbers you need to finalize your troop with, and make sure you get it. I always recommend the save and print, but something I figured out in the making of this little video. Oh, I do need to select the cupboard. And if you do save and print, you do want to close that before you try and do anything else. So once it gets opened, you're just going to want to close it if you don't actually want to print it. Click OK, make sure that's all taken care of. And so once I've added my final transaction, so these were all my booths that we were doing, I'm going to go to my girl orders tab, and then I'm going to distribute them, because right now I have well, it looks like I might have a doubled up because it didn't delete the last time, so let me just make sure I actually remove one of these. So they were added, but that's what I would do. I would add to my number, go to the girl orders tab after saving and clicking OK a dozen times. Go in there, and then we are going to distribute those boxes that you may have left over from booths and everything else that you've been selling, goal getters. If you haven't completed that, whatever that number is down here means those are boxes that you have, that your troop is responsible for still to distribute out to the girls, because the initial order was locked, so those should already be populated. But then any booths or goal getters that you haven't added already, we want to make sure this number down here gets to 0, because this is the total number that the troop has. This is what's already been distributed. This needs to get to 0. So we're going to start with our girl F, and what we know is she's already been selling some. And she just needs to have her booths added. So we're going to add a few more. We already had one Albertsons apparently that she did, but we are going to add the rest of hers in just one big lump sum. Every troop is going to do this a little bit different. We didn't have any other specialty cookies, so I'm just leaving those blank. Because I should have collected all the money up front, I can actually see that for the 450, she should have had $1,800 that she paid for those, or was credited to, because the troop collected it as we were at the booth sales. And I'm just going to save. And then I'll go back to the girl order tab, or you can use the little toggle to switch between girls. And then we have our girl 3 that we are going to add a transaction for. And these are for her booths. We're just completing this all out. So we're just going through, making sure. And at booths, she sold 870. So she really participated in every booth that we had. So we're going to make sure we put in the money against what she owes right away, because once again, the troop should have already had that. And then we're going to save. And then we just have one more girl, because we had one girl that actually didn't participate in any extra. So we're going to go to girl 2, add a transaction, and this again is for her booths. And we had 500 that we're going to add to here. And once again, that is fairly easy math, I hope. And $2,000 in, $2,000 out. Make sure it all works, and then we're going to save on there. So those are all of our booth cells. And what we have is we actually have 17 leftover cookies. So what I can look at is, for, let's say, for example, for girl 2, if I added those 17, and why we have 17, who knows? Maybe they are truly unsold. Maybe they were sold at a booth, but I just forgot how to allocate them. I'm just not sure what to do with those. I still want this number to get down to 0. So I'm going to look and see if there's anybody I can bump up. So if I added 17 packages to girl F, you know, it really wouldn't get her to the next reward. It wouldn't be quite enough to get her up to 700. And same down here with girl 2. If I added another 17, it really isn't enough to do it. And you know what? I know girl 3 really was hoping to get to 1,000 boxes. So I am going to take that 17 extra. For whatever reason, whether it's leftover boxes that you're going to continue to sell for another week or so, try to see whether the troop wants to donate those somewhere. Whatever it is that you want to do, the troop is going to pay for them because you took them out on your transactions tab. So you decide what you actually want to do with the physical boxes, but we do want to make sure girls get credit. So we're going to add one last transaction called an extras, because I'm going to pretend like girl number 3 is my daughter, and I know I'm going to be the one selling these, so I'm just going to take it upon myself to give her credit for those sales, because me and her are going to be the ones that actually go and try and get rid of these boxes. Or maybe as a troop leader, I'm just going to pay for them and figure it out later. Whatever it is, you don't have to make those decisions. You can ask every girl to do it equally. Whatever it is that you're going to do, just make an ethical decision. I'm going to call these other because I don't know how they're going to be sold. And I do know that they're paid for, so I'm going to add the $68. But that does bump her up into that 1,000 1,000 box reward section. So we do kind of get a whole new level of benefits once we kind of make that jump. So it was really good to be able to push her up to that next level. So when I look at it, I see that this is how many boxes I have distributed out to girls. This is how many boxes I had in my troop, and now I have 0. I don't need to distribute anymore. I haven't over distributed. Everything is zeroed out, and that's what we want to see. I still have some money issues, but that doesn't really reflect on the rewards tab. This is just for the troop to be able to take care of it, so I still might have to collect from girls for whatever reason, but for the most part I've collected everything else. So I've done the transactions, I've pulled all the cookies I want into my troop, I've distributed them out to the girls. Now we can head over to the rewards. So I have my final rewards. The initial reward was already submitted. You can view or fill out. So once you are filling out the rewards, we're just going to click on each girl, because there are rewards that are earned at a much earlier level than before. So this girl earned 662. So there are going to be 3 choices at the lower levels, plus the t-shirt size. So whatever that is that you need to do. Now, if you accidentally click both of them and you try to submit, it's actually going to tell you you can only select one item. So you do need to make sure you know which item they want. You can't get both for those levels. Do notice that on 125 you automatically earn both the items that were on there. So then you'd click the submit girl order. I don't want to actually submit those because I don't want them to actually earn it in my little test one. And you would go on and do the same thing for each girl that earned different levels. And up here we have 1,000, so we'd see that she earned her cookie dough at the 1,000 level, but then she has new rewards that she would earn. And so you just would choose which one of those items that they would want. If for any reason they pick local attraction, I do actually need to know what that local attraction is. It does need to be within a 50-mile radius of where that person lives, because what you're telling me is that you don't want to travel into the Meridian area to do the Roaring Springs. You don't want to travel to camp. So we're not going to, if you're not willing to travel or you don't want to go to zip line, a local attraction means something actually near the girl. So it really does need to be local to them, because otherwise we ask that you choose one of the things that we put in there. And then you would submit that. I think I may have done it, but that's all right. It won't be the end. So then it is greened out once you've submitted. After every girl that has selections or sizes that need to be made, it should be green. After all that is done, you'll kind of make sure that the overview of all of the different items. So I had 4 girls. All of them got the participation patch. All of them got the bandana. 1 girl stopped at the 100 level boxes and will get her $15 in cookie dough. But then all 4 of them still got to 125. Then I had 3 of them get here, 3, and then of course I had 1 girl that just kept on going and was able to get a little bit more all the way up into the 1,000. If you have extra levels, do make sure that on the 1500 in 2017, if you are going for either the DSL camera or the laptop, that you have selected the no 1500 plus, opting for a 2500 plus reward. For these two items, the electric go-kart is just what you would earn if you wanted to have the paddleboard and the uke or any of those other things. Here are the Goal Getter Diva and the Cookies from the Heart. So we had 2 girls that earned that, none that earned the Cookies from the Heart items for that program. And the one up here that's causing a lot of trouble is the DOC, so the digital order card or digital cookie email sent at 18. So you need 18. And I had none. Well, if I look over here on the girls tab, you'll see, and let's just say I know my girls participated, they didn't make any sales, but I know they all sent their emails. But it's still saying 0. I have emails from the parents telling me they did it, and I can prove it. Well, this is actually still a manual process on Little Brownie's part. It does not auto-populate, and at the end of our digital cookie program, they do upload these all at once. So sometime on the 20th, 21st, you'll see that all of these actually get auto-populated. You don't have to worry about it, because when I submit for my final rewards, I will make sure that I roll everything up. And so even though you may submit a little bit earlier, if they in fact sold 18, it will be caught up in that roll up to actually submit for you for that reward. I also will cross-reference it to the reports that I have from Digital Cookie for any girl that sold or submitted more than 18 emails to go out. We will make sure that they get their reward, and we always have a few extras in case something doesn't look right or some reporting doesn't work. But it won't fill out until the end of the actual digital cookie program, because it is still a manual process of somebody importing the report. But that is everything that you would need to know. After you've submitted, you'll be locked out. You won't be able to fill it out, but you would still be able to view or get a girl report at the end to know how to distribute those rewards. So once that downloads, you would be able to see how to distribute those rewards here in the next end of April time period to see what they should have earned. If I can pull that up very, very quickly. And it's going to take a little bit, so just know that that report does pull up. Oh, here we go. And there it is. So then I can see what each girl earned. Thanks, everybody.